Hi, you guys. Happy Friday to you. March 20th, 2020. It's kind of cool that the date today has 320s in it, right? Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you at all. So here you have a not so fixed up me, and then right behind we have a little more fixed up me. And then if we look over this way, we have an even more fixed up me. See that? Various versions of Neo. And there's my honey bunny and my little Jonathan, and he was just teeny tiny. And bam, serious cuteness overload. Okay, that's not why I am doing this video. I just wanted to get on here and encourage you, Papa's darlings, with a really important truth. In the middle of this crisis, I believe that it would be very helpful for you to understand that when Jesus said, "Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid," that he was speaking to us what should be seen as a very empowering truth. And here's what it is: that you have the ability to not let your heart be troubled. You have the ability to not let your heart be afraid. So you are not dependent on anybody, not even God, to keep your heart from being troubled and scared. You have power over your own heart. And so in the middle of these circumstances that we are in as a nation, where things are volatile and you're tempted to hang on the news and see the late breaking news every 5 minutes, and sometimes it's encouraging and sometimes it's not so encouraging, and you see, if you're on Twitter or you're on Facebook, there's lots of craziness going on with the media reporting basically propaganda. They don't do the news anymore, and that could have a tendency to strike fear in your heart, which, by the way, that is the reason for it. That is the purpose for it. And if you're a Christian, you might be praying for God to help you to not be afraid, or maybe you feel powerless. You might just be feeling powerless. And so I wanted to encourage you today with the truth that you are not powerless. You have power over your own heart, and you can speak to your heart, and that's really where it's at. You have to just speak to your heart and say, "Heart, we are trusting God today. I trust God, and so you are going to trust God with me." David did that. David said, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name." In the middle of crazy circumstances where obviously his soul was trying to run amok and exert too much control over him and dictate to him how he was going to feel and therefore how he was going to act, David understood what more of us need to understand, that he could dictate to his own soul, and you can use soul and heart interchangeably, that he could dictate to his own heart rather than letting his heart dictate to him and his emotions control him. And that's what we need to do. I encourage you, even beyond encourage you, I urge you today, don't waste a minute to take the time to speak to your heart. And any time in the future, in the days or weeks to come, when you begin to feel that familiar, unsettled, disquieted feeling in your heart, don't entertain it. Don't play around with it. You don't want to play around with fear. So just speak to your heart and say, "Heart, settle down. Heart, don't be afraid. God has not given me a spirit of fear, and I am certainly not going to listen to you today. You're going to listen to me. I'm the boss of you, not the other way around." You got to get bossy. You got to get bossy with your own heart. Otherwise, people, your emotions will run roughshod over you. It will, and they will absolutely wreak havoc in your life, bringing all kinds of upheaval, robbing you of sleep, and creating uneasiness in your stomach, and potentially issues with your digestion, and all sorts of things. There's all sorts of negative side effects to letting anxiety and fear run amok. And so be encouraged with that. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.